Hey, it is August. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check the 27th, 2024, and I'm only barely knowing for sure that it is August. All right, 2020, 2024. It's the end of days, y'all. I don't know if y'all know it, but it's coming quick. All right. I've been over here minding my own business. Haven't been talking very much. Haven't been getting on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever had like a million thoughts at once to the point is where you just don't want to talk anymore at all? That's where your boy's at. But in the meantime, I had this idea, right, to go ahead and like put my neck out there, all right, to put my reputation on the line, if you will. Why? Because I have a habit. I've noticed I have something of a habit of liking people, specifically people who are very, very unliked. I tend to gravitate to people who I know they're talking when I see them, they're talking trash. And I know when they're talking trash, they're doing it very egregiously. All right. And I know people ain't going to like it. And that's what makes me like you even more. All right, for example, shout out to my man, Mr. Shepard. He had made a video a while back about Charleston White. Right, so he's just another person on the internet. If you might not have never heard, he made a video about Charleston White, and basically he was talking about Charleston White in a way that, he used to not like Charleston White. Have you ever had that? We just don't like somebody. You look at them, you see them, perhaps probably on the internet. You say, I don't like that person. Rub me the wrong way, and then after a while, they start to grow on you. You let them creep in, and they start to grow on you and stuff. I've had that happen to me a number of times. There's been plenty of people who I didn't really like very much, but after a while, they kind of grew on me. All right, so it lets you know that your first impressions aren't exactly always the best ones. And then also, that me personally, I like it when people don't give a damn. All right, like Charleston White, for example, he's gonna make you mad, and then you might trip out and start liking him. Okay, so I thought I would make this video in regards to Myron Gaines, who I've actually liked since the jump. I've always liked Myron, and I've always liked Fresh Prince CEO. Those two make up the Fresh and Fit podcast. If you never heard of it, you're slipping and tripping. All right, but Myron, he's the kind of guy who says some things and people don't like it, and I've seen a lot of people don't like it. I've seen people who I like. Shout out to the big homie, who he doesn't like Fresh and Fit. He doesn't like Myron, for example. He probably doesn't like Fresh. And I see people sometimes, and it's like, well, in this day in which we live in, it's real easy to be hasty, right? You see people saying egregious things, and then off the jump, you don't like them. However, if you give them a chance, I think you'll like them more and more. So, for example, if you never heard from Myron Gaines, here's some of the shorts that you can find of Myron Gaines. Here's the most recent ones here upon YouTube. And I've seen one or two of them. You can see his face up there. I just want to say, man, you could tell, like, check out these shorts, right? Pretty good, very good quality. I mean, these people use top of the line quality cameras. But check this out. The last three, you got them in this, like, lighting. And the camera is so damn good that it almost looks like more vivid than life. Right? And honestly, Myron kind of looks like an evil genius or something in here. He looks like a evil villain or something. Chances are he's going to say some stuff that people don't like. I don't know what it is that he's going to say, but let's see a couple of them right now.
College experience. Let me just demystify this for you fucking guys. College is a socially acceptable way to spend 4 years doing drugs and having sex. That's what it is. I was in college, and thankfully for me, like I was an athlete, so it kept me away from a lot of stupid shit. But all the girls there were fucking 80% were sex active, if not more. Guys, you get a lot of free time in college, especially if you're like majoring in something stupid. Like, let's just be honest here. And they're just partying and drinking, especially as undergrads, like every fucking day. Whole college experience. Let me just demystify.
All right, so Myron's talking about. Let's see, turn it up a little bit. Myron's talking about that college is nothing but a place for drunk sluts to get their drunk slut on. All right, sounds kind of extreme, but a big part of college is about that. All right, so he's not lying, but sounds kind of extreme, painting ladies in a kind of like unflattering light. Let's
This is a
see
very
another one.
uncomfortable reality that we need to just put out there. A girl that's mildly attractive or very attractive, there's a high likelihood that she's doing something that monetizes off of her beauty. I would say 1 in 5 women has done some type of sex work in her lifetime. Now, if we're gonna take a girl that's hot, 7, 8, she can go on a runway. She can, model clothing, whatever it is. Or I would argue better than 50% of those girls have made money doing some type of sex work. Why wouldn't? These are very uncomfortable.
All right, so that was Myron Gaines calling these ladies a bunch of sex workers. And it's things like that rub people the wrong way and stuff. And they get to looking at Myron like, oh man, he's one of those. He's one of those incels who's just angry at women, or like he grew up and he didn't have much opportunity with women. And now he's over here being extreme. All right, but the thing is, what he's saying right now, although sound extreme, we live in extreme times, all right? Women, I've met so many women. And whether they want to admit it or not, different variations, they are doing sex work. They are getting paid for their sexiness in one form or fashion, right? And when it comes to these, if you're going to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, ladies, if you're that brutish to put them on a scale like that, 1 to 10, if you're that much of a dirty dog that you would do that, the 7s, 8s, 9s, I don't know about 7s, but probably 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, they're gone. They're far gone, all right? And the reason, just to be short and brief, is that they're shown way too much attention and they get their way for their entire lives. And people are always drooling over them. People are always staring at them and stuff like that. It'll tend to put you in a weird state, all right? And then it might have you just making money off your sexiness, all right? So many women making money off their sexiness. It's a damn shame. Number one, they shouldn't technically be doing that. Number two, it's embarrassing for the ladies not making money off their sexiness, right? Anyways, let's see this one more short.
Low SMV guys do stupid shit to keep girls around, whether it's simping and buying them handbags or licking box or all the above. The nastiest men that I've seen, they typically have something significantly wrong. They're really fat, they're ugly, they're really broke. So they have to do weird shit like that. And then like the women use them. There's like this whole like epidemic. Women like use guys to like lick their that's it. And dudes are okay with that. Like that's fucking unacceptable. Low SMV guys.
All right, low SMV. That means SMV, sexual marketplace value, if you didn't know. It's a common term. And so, it's clips like these, and there's thousands, I'm sure, of Myron Gaines talking and spitting that trash, right? It's clips like these that'll have people thinking the worst of Myron, all right? And especially even when he's talking about ladies, for example. He was talking about the men right there and saying, oh, you do this and that and this and that. It's because you got the lady up on a pedestal. It's because you ain't worked on yourself. It's because you don't have nothing to offer. She's taking advantage of you. She's having you do every little thing. And the thing is, she don't give a damn about you. She's just waiting on some other guy. And in fact, she probably has another guy or 2 or 3 in her life. You might say that's extreme. Yeah, I know, but it is the case. That is reality. And that's the state of things. Now, When it comes to clips like these, they sound very brash, and it's because Myron is using, dare I say, honesty. All right, and a lot of people get to thinking that Myron is got some sort of animosity towards women. All right, and the reason is because he doesn't really sugarcoat. He doesn't really put a leash on his words. He's just very frank and very honest. And that's what's interesting. That's what's so very interesting. It's because he's honest. And he'll be honest to your face. And it don't even matter what lady I've seen him be around ladies. He'll be honest to any lady in her face and talk to her honestly. Here's the issue is that a lot of women and men would assume that there's some sort of animosity towards women coming from Myron Gaines. However, I think they're misinterpreting it. They're thinking it's animosity because don't nobody even talk to women like this. But I think if especially men, if they took a step back, and women as well, if they took a step back and just accepted that this guy right here is only being honest. And when it comes to women, people are not honest with women, right? I would say, namely men, but women are not honest with women. And that is the issue, some would argue, and I would say the same thing, is that the most loving thing that you could do with a person is remain honest with them. And same goes for women because they're persons too. The most loving thing you could do to a woman is be honest with her. Now, for people who've been living on earth for long enough, they might be ready to tell you right now that women love lies. They love them. They gobble them up. I'm sure men love lies to a certain point too, but not the way that women do. Women love them like it's the air that they breathe. All right. Women love lies like they love their cell phone. Okay. And so to be honest with women is something that you don't see people do very often. Even if they are honest, they'll be sugarcoating it for the women because the women are so sensitive to being, frankly, just honest about the facts. And it gets people to thinking that, oh, Myron, he's got a disdain and, like I said, an animosity for ladies. It's actually not the case. I mean, here's the thing. We're living in a world where obviously people want to see 10, 15-second video clips of you and perhaps get emotionally stirred up and perhaps want to dislike you because of what they heard on TikTok or a short video here on YouTube. But dare I say, this goes for anybody. In order to really know Myron Gaines and where Myron Gaines is coming from, and know that's not his real name, that's his internet name. But in order to know where Myron Gaines is coming from, you gotta listen to him, not edited. Just listen to him for an extended period of time, explain himself out. And that's what happens. That's how I could tell that certain people come to the conclusion that they come to. Because if you listen to Myron Gaines talk for 30 minutes straight, you're not going to have the same impression of him as if you've seen a 15-second video where he says something that you don't really like. Right? And not only that, Fresh and Fit, and this is the reason why I made this video, is like Fresh and Fit brings so much value to the damn internet. I don't know if it's like 2-ish years ago now when I first discovered Fresh and Fit, when they were burgeoning on the scene. But they bring so much value. I mean, they just bring more and more as the days go on, and that's why I just wanted to shout out Myron Gaines for being my big brother, for keeping it real with me, for articulating scenarios and environment in such a way that most people just don't even have the heart to. Why? Because they don't want to isolate themselves from their female audience. Females love lies. They love everything to be sugar coated. But however, true love, that's coming from a man like Myron Gaines, all right? And by the way, he's got a girlfriend. Had a girlfriend for a while, and she's a baddie. She's a serious baddie. For anybody thinking that Myron Gaines is having trouble with women, he is not. And he has not been having trouble with women for a very long time. And quite frankly, he does smash girls on the side from time to time. And his girlfriend does know about it, and she's kind of cool with it. Don't you think? Like he's, I mean, just in with that in consideration, isn't that baller? All right. He's got a baddie, a girlfriend who's very useful, who's very valuable to be honest. And sometimes he'll smash baddies on the side, and he doesn't even hide it from her. I mean, he might be discreet about it, which is respectful, but it's not like he's lying about it. She knows about this. All right, so whether or not people want to admit it, he's got some things going for him. He's not exactly a failure in that regard. And also, another thing I wanted to point out is that Fresh and Fit, for example, Fresh and Fit podcast or whatever you call it, broadcast, it got the most famous. It really got its famousness. You know, it really started blowing up because of these after hours things that you see right here. After hours, they got Badman Kevo and Mickey Mace. Those are the two guys on the left side. And then on the right side, you have ladies, just random ladies. They're looking good. They're up in Miami. And, usually it's probably more people than just that. But it's like a table full of people, and especially ladies. And Myron will be talking to the ladies. I mean, this will be going on for hours. This broadcast was 2 hours talking to the ladies, getting their insight, letting them know that this and that, and telling them the truth about, for example, that most of these ladies, if they do not change their ways, if they do not get off of Instagram, if they do not stop selling their sexiness, basically, then selling your sexiness might get you money, right? And certainly it is getting a lot of these ladies plenty money, all right? But what they lots of times fail to realize is it's not going to be conducive to landing the man of their dreams later. It's just not. All right? In fact, it's probably going to scare him off. If he's truly the man of your dreams, that's probably the case, but it'll give you nice insight. And they do these things. I don't know how much a week they do it, but like a few times a week, they'll be having these after hours. But not only that, they provide other content like they be talking about the DNC. That's political. They be talking about the richest generation of millennials are more wealthy than their parents. Perhaps I'm broke as hell, but I also don't like to call myself a millennial. Tate brothers raided and charged, so they definitely be on current events and hot topics, stuff like that. Jim IRL stream for getting jacked, and just in case if you're wondering if you should get jacked, yeah, you probably should. You should probably go to the gym and work out. Either that or just work out. You don't even need the gym. You got the Hodge twins and stuff. They got plenty of content. They got all these personalities, Rollo Tomasi and stuff. But check this out. Okay, late night gym session just for that inspiration. But check this out. Right here up top, they got a communism debate. And I was listening to that a little bit last night. Um, it's like, dude, being American, growing up in America, the way that I have is just like I don't like communism. I don't like the idea of communism, but I'm not like very, very close minded. And so I do want to hear people talk about it. You know, they're known for their after hours stuff, but they got content like this where people are having very heated, very intellectual debates thanks to Myron. All right, people that everybody seems to love to hate Myron. He's bringing all these sort of like just different kind of contents here to YouTube, and actually we're on Rumble right now. And I do wanna show you this too before we get up out of here. Fed Reacts, because that's a different channel. If I type this in, let me see. All right, Fed Fed Reacts, right? Um, let's go to the channel right here. This is a different channel, but it's ran by Myron Gaines. Las Vegas Mob Museum in real live stream. Check this out. Fed explains El Mayo, uh, some sort of Mexican mob boss. Fed explains Iranian plot to assassinate Donald Trump. I haven't even seen a lot of these. New official Trump assassination details and conspiracy theories. This is on a totally different channel, talking about P. Diddy, talking about Julian Assange, talking about Fulio, talking about the Hillside Stranglers and stuff. Check this out, the Hillside Stranglers, and lots of times we'll be talking about that true, you know, what is it called, like true crime content. You know, on the TV, and I'm sure on the internet nowadays, the true crime. You know, I gotta say, there's probably men out there who like the true crime, but you know who really likes true crime shows? We all know it. Is women. They love it. And I like it too, and I've been checking them out, the true crime stuff. So there's like endless content coming from Myron Gaines. He puts his heart and soul out there. I mean, he's really, really working. And people can turn around and hate him all they want and stuff. Why? Just because he's being honest. That's why. That's why I stand by my man Myron Gaines. You know, in getting out of here, man, let's get up out of here. But it's like, you know how the Bible says you really can't know a man's heart. You really just can't know. I mean, it's very, very, very hard to know what motivates a man. All right, and sometimes you find out things about people that you just like you never would have guessed. However, you would have guessed if you were a good guesser. That does happen. All right, you can't never really know a man's heart. But with that being said, there's certain men out there, especially on the internet, who I stand behind. Why? Because I've never seen a man, and pause by the way, but I've never seen a man. It's like, dude, I hardly ever see men go out on a limb like this. Go out and put themselves out there like this, pour their heart and soul into the internet and stuff. Why to help people? Why to give people the content that they so crave? You know, and that's why I gotta stand by my man Myron Gaines. And until I see evidence, that's the thing about it. We're gonna talk about more men in general, maybe some women from time to time, who I stand behind or I stand next to, and until I see proper evidence, and I want to stress proper evidence, like I'm a detective, like this is not a game. Until I see proper evidence of why I should dislike Myron Gaines, I'm gonna be here and liking Myron Gaines, pause, liking it and liking it and liking it. I don't care who doesn't like it. Why? Because my man put it down, pause. All right. He's got 10 toes down out here and deserves that kind of respect for his credibility. All right. And there's plenty of fellas out there, and I'm sure some ladies too, who I like, and I know that most people run around hating on them. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that maybe daily. We'll find out. From here to the end of days, and the end of days coming quite quickly, all right? So we'll talk about that a little bit later. I thank you and I appreciate you. I'll holler at you a little bit later. It's August the 27th, 2020, 2020, 2020,